صفي الله يا علم الرشاد.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. My name is Ahmad Abdullah. Distinguished viewers from any part of the world, I say once again, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. You're welcome to the Islamic media. Today, inshallah, we shall be treating 9 different fatwa questions concerning the rulings of menstruation, pregnant woman, and nursing mother. So inshallah, today we shall pick these questions one after the other. Today, let's go on. Sheikh, sit asleep today. What are you doing, Sheikh?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thumma salatu wassalamu ala rasulillahi amma ba'du. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Ayyuha al-mushahidun al-kiram. إن شاء الله اليوم نتكلم حول النساء خصوصا إن شاء الله، ولكن لا تنسى لسنا بشيخين ولكن لازمنا الشيوخ، وهؤلاء الشيوخ لازموا قول الله سبحانه وتعالى وقول رسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم.
Now inshallah, today, as the Sheikh says, everything we say, everything every fatwa we give is not from our own opinion. As he said, we are not Sheikh, we are not scholars. But every opinion we give, every fatwa we give is based on the fatwas of our scholars, Ibn Taymiyyah, Ibn Uthaymin, Ibn Taymiyyah, Ibn Baz, and the Lajna of fatwa in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So inshallah, today, our first question for our busy Sheikh who is busy with his phone is that...
First list the...
Okay, number 1 question says, what happens if a lady that's yet to break her fast, a fasting lady who's yet to break her fast, but it is time for Maghrib, that is, it's time for Iftar, but she hasn't break her fast, but suddenly she sees her menses? The second question goes thus: a lady that's not sure of the number of days she missed due to menses. For example, this Ramadan is over and it's time for her to start making up for her missed fasting, and suddenly she forgets the number of fasting she's supposed to make up. The third question says, a fasting lady that never stops bleeding, that is, a lady that is suffering from abnormal menses. Alright, the next question says, a lady that breaks her fast thinking that she was menstruating. Unfortunately, it wasn't yet time for her menses. What is she supposed to do? Will she continue eating? Will she abstain? Or whatever? So the next question says, what about a lady that's yet to make up her missed fast and suddenly she dies? The next question for our Sheikh says, a fasting pregnant woman that bleeds constantly or once in a while, does that invalidate her fasting? And again, we have
we can start now, inshallah.
Okay, alright, the Sheikh now has our time. Okay, the first question for you, Sheikh. As a lady, it's time for Iftar. So I bought a taxi, probably going home, with the hope that I will eat when I'm home. I don't have any fruit with me, I don't have water with me, but it's already time for me to break. It's time for Iftar. But before I got home, I see my menses. What happens, Sheikh?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thumma salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. If a lady sees a menses, that is a period, a menstruation after Maghrib, that is, it is time for Iftar, but she is yet to break a fast, maybe there's nothing to break a fast with, the fact that the sun is set makes a fast valid, because automatically if the sun is set and it's time for Maghrib, the fast for that day is completed, because the Prophet ﷺ, he says, إذا أقبل الليل من ها هنا وأدبر النهار من ها هنا وغربت الشمس فقد أفطر الصائم. When the night comes from here and the days depart from here, then and the sun has set, then it is time for the fasting person to break his fast. So after the Maghrib, the fast for that day is completed. So there's nothing that can invalidate it again, unless maybe you put a riyah, show of aha, but as the sun is set, then the fast for that day is completed.
So whatever happens after that doesn't invalidate fast.
Exactly.
Alright, the next question for you, Sheikh, says, a lady does not sure of the number of days she missed due to menses, for example, a lady fasting, so Ramadan is over and it's time for her to start making up, and suddenly she forgets the number of fasting she's to make up. What's she supposed to do, Sheikh?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, thumma salatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Sheikh Ibn Uthaymin rahimahullah said, if a person is not sure about how many days he has to make up, being a girl or a man, or you think, okay, then he should go with the lower number.
Okay.
So if a woman or a man is not sure whether she or he has to make up 3 days or 4, then he or she should go by the lower number, because the lower number is more certain, and anything more than that is subject to doubt. Well, as bara'atu dhimma, that is, basically one does not owe any days except those one you are certain about. However, in order to be on the safe side, he or she should make up this day about which there is some uncertainty, because if it was obligatory, then the obligation will have been fulfilled. For example, now you are doubting, maybe you missed 3 days or 4 days.
Okay.
Al-aslu is for you to pick the 3 days, but to be on the safer side, you can go for the for 4 days. But if she does not remember anything about the number of days,
She doesn't remember at all.
maybe 3 days, 4 days, she does not remember anything about the days she owes, then she should fast whatever she thinks most likely to fulfill the obligation. Like, she should think about the numbers of days she was likely to have missed fastings, maybe by calculating the normal days she used for her period before, so she can fast for that day. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam.
Now, okay, the next question, Sheikh, says, what about a fasting lady that she never stops bleeding, or maybe when her menses is over, like the 3rd day, she just sees her blood again, or maybe she probably menstruates for 3 months sometimes non-stop. She bleeds for months, for days, for weeks non-stop. So this type of lady, is she expected to stay away from fasting? Is she excluded from fasting? Is that an excuse for her?
Actually, what you just mentioned now is about istihada,
Yes.
the abnormal menses, that is, the blood will still be coming even after a menstruation.
Okay.
During the time when the woman who is experiencing istihada, that is the abnormal menses, whereby the blood coming out from her body did not stop, if she believes that the blood that is coming out from my body is menstrual blood, that is, this is my period, because some girls can differentiate between menstruation blood and normal blood. So then she is menstruating and the wholeness of menses apply to her, because she believes and she is sure that this blood is menstrual blood. But when the menses ends, then she is tahir, that is she is pure, and she has to perform ghusl, that is the spiritual bath. She can pray, and her husband may have intercourse with her even if she is still bleeding. This literally means that abnormal menses does not stop you from fasting, praying, and other ibadah like i'tikaf, as was reported from the Prophet ﷺ. And there was another hadith that was narrated from Aisha radhiyallahu anha, أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم اعتكف معه بعض نسائه وهي مستحاضة ترى الدم فربما وضعت الطاس تحتها من الدم. رواه البخاري. One of the wives of the Prophet ﷺ observed i'tikaf with him, and she was experiencing istihada, the abnormal menses, and that does not stop her from doing i'tikaf.
So she can pray, she can fast, as long as the menses is not the original one.
Is not exactly. So the blood is not stop coming out from her. Sometimes she would place a basin, like a bucket or bath, beneath her to catch the blood. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam.
So this means that a lady that is suffering from abnormal menses is not something new. It doesn't mean that her life is ruined. It's not a reason for her husband to divorce her. The Prophet's wife is suffering from the same. The Prophet never divorced her because of that. The Prophet never excluded her from her wives. The Prophet did not stigmatize against her, but she can still relate to the Prophet. She can pray as long as she can differentiate between the abnormal menses and the normal one. And this also applies, Sheikh, to some ladies that will fast and the menses stop. They've cleaned themselves. Like 3 days later, they might just notice a stain of blood too. So Allah Ta'ala Alam. So again, next question for you, Sheikh, is that a lady, Ramadan is over, and this particular lady, she is yet to make up for her missed fasting, like 3, 4, whatever. In that process, she died while she's still having debt of fast that she needs to make up. So, what is the Islamic ruling concerning this?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, thumma salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. If the lady had enough time to make up the missed fast before she died, but she did not make up the fast, then it is better for one of her relatives to fast these days on her behalf. Because the Prophet ﷺ, he said, Man mata wa alayhi siyamun sama anhu waliyuhu. Whoever dies owing fast is here, that is one of our relatives should fast on her behalf. Thank you. The hadith is muttafaqun alayhi wa al-Bukhari wa Muslim, and it is permissible to delay the fast. Like normally a girl can delay a missed fast, but it is better to hasten to do them if one is able to. But if she is not pure yet before she died, that is, she is still experiencing that menstruation, but before she now died, she is still seeing her period and she dies. In this case, no one has to fast those days because it has not yet become obligatory for her to make up those days. So I urge everyone, being a lady or a man, to inform your relatives if you are owing some fast. Okay, Allah Ta'ala A'lam.
So inshallah, what the Sheikh says in summary is that if the lady has enough time to make up, but she hasn't made up yet, it has become a debt. But if there was no time, for example, Ramadan is over today, she died the next day, and she's already having a standing fast like 4, 5, like they don't need to make up for her. Allah Ta'ala Alam. So the next question says, a lady that breaks her fast, she didn't fast that particular day, or she breaks it halfway, thinking that she was menstruating. She thought she was menstruating, maybe a young lady that has just started menstruating and she's not yet familiar with all the characteristics of menstruation probably, and so she thinks, or she assumes she was menstruating, and then she didn't fast that day, or maybe she breaks it thinking that her menstrual blood has arrived. But unfortunately, she realized that this is not menstrual blood. What is she expected to do, Sheikh?
What we mean by this question is that she made a mistake
in
deciding when her menstruation starts. What she only has to do is to make up that day after Ramadan, and that's all.
Okay.
Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Ahzab, verse 5, وَلَيْسَ عَلَيْكُمْ جُنَاحٌ فِي مَا أَخْطَأْتُمْ بِهِ وَلَكِنْ مَا تَعَمَّدَتْ قُلُوبُكُمْ وَكَانَ اللَّهُ غَفُورًا رَحِيمًا. And there is no sin on you concerning that in which you made a mistake, except in regard to what your heart deliberately intended to do. And Allah is ever oft forgiven and most merciful. And there are some other verses of the Quran and Hadith which prove that Allah does not punish us for our mistakes. So the sister just have to make up that day she made the mistake of breaking her fast, and that's all. Allah Ta'ala Alam.
Alright, so Jazakumullah khairan, Sheikh. Okay, I hope you're not getting tired, Sheikh, of my questions. Sorry. Okay, what about a fasting pregnant woman? She's pregnant and she's fasting, but she bleeds once in a while, maybe due to health issue or whatever. She bleeds. So this kind of bleeding that comes once in a while the lady is fasting, so does that vitiate her fast?
With regard to your question, some might be thinking that, do a pregnant woman fast? Yes, she can fast if she's capable of doing so, and she is sure that it won't harm the baby inside her.
Okay.
In most cases, a pregnant woman does not experience menstruation, so it's rare for a pregnant woman to menstruate. Okay. According to Imam Ahmad, he stated that pregnant women do not have menses at all. Okay. But according to the most correct opinion, some women may continue to bleed at regular times as they did before their pregnancy.
Yes, exactly.
This type of continual bleeding at the time of menses is considered to be true menses and is governed by all the laws concerning menstrual blood.
Okay.
However, if the bleeding of the pregnant woman stops and starts again and it does not resemble menstrual blood. Like I said earlier, that some lady can differentiate between normal blood and menstrual blood. So it will not affect her fast in any way because this is not menses.
Yes.
Such bleeding may be the result of an accident or the strain of lifting something heavy or falling down, etc. Therefore, if a pregnant woman bleeds menstrual blood, it breaks her fast, according to the Prophet ﷺ statement. But if it is not menstrual blood, it does not invalidate a fast. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam.
Okay, that kind of constant bleeding or often bleeding that comes up when a lady is pregnant doesn't vitiate fasting.
If she is sure that this is not menstrual
I think
blood.
most ladies have the ability to differentiate between menstrual blood and other bloods like that. So, Allahu a'lam. So, and the next question for the Sheikh is, what about when the menses of a lady stops, like few minutes to the end of sahur, and she has not eaten yet sahur? Let me give an example. This lady, let's say sahur stops by 6 o'clock, right? For example given in a particular city, sahur stops by 6 o'clock a.m. Then 10 minutes to 6, the bleeding stops. But before she got herself together, let me get something to eat. Sahur is over. She has not eaten sahur. Now, what is she expected to do?
If the girl is certain that her menses are ended and you form the intention to fast before Fajr, even if it was 1 minute before Fajr, then your fast for that day is valid. Even if you delayed doing ghusl, the ritual bath, you can still continue with your fast.
Okay.
And regarding to the issue that she has not eaten sahur, she must fast the day even without eating the sahur, unless she fears that any damage may happen to her body system due to skipping of the sahur, because some ladies are physically weak, or most ladies,
yes,
they are physically weak, you know.
Exactly.
And Allah says in Surah Al-Baqarah, yuridullahu bikum al-yusra wa la yuridu bikum al-usra. Allah intends for you ease and does not intend for you hardship. So this lady can break the fast and make up after the Ramadan only if that's the one to harm his body system. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam.
Alright, to add to what the Sheikh has said, let's be guided, our sisters. If the menstrual blood stops when that time, I want to move to Salat, for example. Asri prayer is supposed to stop by 5:30, for example. If your menstrual blood stops before 5:30, then the Asri prayer is compulsory
For you.
and the Isha prayer, for example, it extends to the beginning of the night, let's say 12 a.m. So if the menstrual blood stops around 9 o'clock, so please, beloved sisters, go and take your ghusl, because that Isha Salat is compulsory upon you. So if you fail to bring up to pray that particular Salat, it has become a sin. So Allah Ta'ala. So let's be guided. So the next question says, what about a breastfeeding woman? What is a breastfeeding woman supposed to do? Is she is it obliged upon her to fast, or what is the Islamic ruling concerning a breastfeeding woman?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, thumma salatu wa salam ala
And
Rasulillah.
to add more, please, if you can extend it to pregnant women too.
Okay, Tajib, with regards to breastfeeding mothers and also pregnant women, as you say,
Okay.
two scenarios may apply, that is, two situations may occur.
Okay.
The first one is that if the woman is healthy and strong and does not find fasting difficult, and it does not affect fetus, that is the baby inside her, in this case the woman is obliged to fast. She must fast because she has no excuse not to do so.
Okay.
And the second is that if the woman fears for herself or a child because of fasting, and fasting is difficult for her, then she is allowed not to fast because but she has to make up the days that she does not fast. In this situation, it is better for her not to fast, and it is makruh, that is it is disliked for her to fast. Some of the scholars stated that if she fears for her child, it is obligatory for her not to fast at all, and it is haram for her to fast. That's the and the breastfeeding mother may need adequate food and drinks, especially during these days that are very hot.
Exactly. Yes.
So she may need not to fast so that she can nourish her child with a milk. In this case, we also say to her, do not fast And when this excuse no longer applies, that is after the breastfeeding, then you should make up the fast that you have missed. This was reported by Sheikh Ibn Uthaymin, rahimahullah, wallahu ta'ala a'lam.
All right. Thank you very much, Sheikh. Jazakumullah khairan. So, the next question says that a lady sent me this an email. She says, if her menses stop, like immediately after the subh, after sahur, like few minutes after sahur, so is she supposed to stop eating for that day since others are fasting in order to honor the month of Ramadan, or what is she expected to do?
If Fajr comes and a woman is still menstruating, she is not expected to fast that day, even if she becomes pure a moment after Fajr. But she is expected to just to do al-imsak. Okay. Can you go me the English for al-imsak?
Abstain.
To abstain from eating, just to honor the month of Ramadan. Okay. Yeah, that does not mean that she should not go out and be eating
in
because
public, because she's not fasting.
Exactly.
So she should at least hide her face and eat one corner. All right. Jazakumullah khairan, Shaykh. Jazakumullah khairan once again. So may Allah increase you in knowledge. And like I always like to say, you might be looking at us that these are not scholars. Yes, we are not scholars, we are students of knowledge. But every fatwa we give here is not on our behalf, it's on behalf of sheikhs. It's the fatwas that sheikhs have given before us.
Scholars, not me.
He's not the sheikh, because that sheikh is a nickname. He's not a sheikh, I repeat, he's not a sheikh. We are both students of knowledge, seeking more knowledge. So all these 9 fatwas we give is based on the fatwas of Ibn Abbas, Ibn Taymiyyah, the largest of fatwa in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and also Ibn Hazm, and so many scholars, like about 12 or 13 scholars who gathered their information before giving this fatwas. So inshallah, alhamdulillah, you can trust these fatwas, not because it was given by us, not because it's on Islamic social, not because it's on our page, and not because it was said by him, but because it was said by the Lajna of Fatwa, whom we trust. Inshallah,
they stick to the
they stick to the
word of Allah,
the Quran and the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ramadan Mubarak to everyone from around the world. Inshallah, next time we see you, we will give you updates on our next lecture, what we'll be talking about. Inshallah, once again.
And anybody that has question,
so anyone that has question or correction or criticism on anything we've said, you can just drop it at the comment section. And please remember to keep comments very respectful, as rude comments might be deleted and not be attended to. Jazakumullah khairan for listening once again. My name is your brother in Islam, Ahmed Abdullah, and with me here is
Habibullah Sulaiman al-Imam.
مع السلامة لقاؤنا بالخير. رمضان مبارك.
صفي الله يا علم الرشاد.